What's up, y'all? Shook here, back with another video on the Holy Paladin, doing some 2v2 with Plum on his Boomkin. So this isn't the normal comp that we run. We normally run Holy Paladin Death Knight, but we've been playing a bunch of Mop Remix, and we got behind on gear, and we were like 2250 MMR, and the games were incredibly sweaty. They were really hard to win without gear. And so Plum's Boomkin had a little bit more gear, so we wanted to try this. The MMR of these games is around 2100, and they were just way less sweaty. We only lost one game in this whole session, and we got quite a few pieces of my gear. We got Plum some more gear. He actually didn't have his 4-set as Boomkin, which is really strong. It's like a 25% damage increase. And yeah, so the games went pretty well. I didn't know how healing a caster with no Mortal Strike effect would go, but yeah, I mean, we honestly did really well versus most melee teams, and even versus like the caster teams. It was really hard for them to just stand there and fight us, so I was quite impressed. I was running Barrier of Faith. This was the very first game of the session, so I was running Barrier of Faith in this one, but I swapped it to Reclamation, and actually noticed a significant difference for a lot of the games. It had way more value than I thought it was going to have, so I might just start running Reclamation in all of the games in 3v3 and solo shuffle, etc. Especially now that I am pretty much fully geared as of the time of me, doing this voiceover. So this first game is obviously going to go into pretty heavy dampening, so I'm going to be trying to go for drinks when I can. It's hard to drink versus a Boomkin in the Boomkin v Boomkin world, especially this resto druid is running the kind of mana build where he can go into cat form and use rake and all that stuff. But it's, and also Plum not having his 4-set with the other Boomkin kind of outgearing him a little bit, but we still, managed to make it work. So we get the cross CC here. They're both stunned. We do force the trinket on the resto druid, and he iron barks, and it looks like he frenzied regened, or we proc the frenzied regen, not sure which one. It looks like Plum has his cooldowns rolling for the next 20 seconds. He does get fully cloned on it, which is kind of unfortunate, but this is also a really bad map for us. What we want is, Nagrand or one of the other ones. So I do get out of that route. I'm not sure what got me out of the route because I didn't have Trinket there. Maybe I just took too much damage and it broke. But it looks like Plum is just swapping Cyclones, and we want to, make sure they don't drink, but we also want to go for a drink whenever we can, and just kind of putting up spread pressure. And it looks like Plum is kind of cycling his clones a lot better. This Boomkin has to worry about DR with his Resto Druid's clones. And we get the cross CC there again. We get the clone on the Resto Druid, and then I hodge the Boomkin. And it looks like we got his Frenzy regen. I'm going to go for a drink here while Plum's kind of just like 1v2ing. He stunned the Resto and cloned the Boomkin while he was at half health. Then he's kind of hitting Star Surges, so we do get back to full mana, and you can kind of see we're near 50% dampening. So when we hit 60% dampening, that's when things are going to go crazy. Now, if we had a Mortal Strike effect, then obviously the game would be, a lot more sweaty right now at this dampening point. Now, their cooldowns are coming up, the Convoke, all that stuff that they kind of did in the opener is about to come back up very soon. So I kind of want to make sure I hold Ultimate Sacrifice for that, and I may even need to Ultimate Sacrifice Bubble. That'll be the time when it's going to be worth kind of burning Bubble, because at this point it's really just about living, because things are about to get crazy around 60% dampening. So it looks like we're getting a lot of pressure on the Resto Druid, and there's the Convoke that I was talking about. I'm going to go ahead and sack. It looks like the Boomkin hasn't used his major cooldown yet, but I'm going to go ahead and bubble here to try and pick him up. So there is Tranquility from the Resto Druid, and there's the major cooldown from the Boomkin. So I'm just trying to pick Plum up. We do have Lay on Hands, but at this point in dampening, it's not really going to do much. It looks like Frenzied Regen isn't topping that Boomkin, and I was going for the Hodge, but Plum got the clone at the same time. So kind of a wonky first game, but good for warm-up, since we have been doing a lot of Mop remakes and we haven't been doing a lot of Arena. So this next one's Demon Hunter and Disc Priest. And I'm going to tag the Demon Hunter. They do Dark Arc right there, so I'm just going to run away. And just wait for that to go away. I don't know what that was. So we're kind of just standing around waiting for that Dark Arc to go. It looks like Plum was going to go for a bit of a re-stealth. He does get the root on the Demon Hunter. This matchup should be super favorable for us because it's hard for the Demon Hunter to stick unless his Disc Priest plays really aggressive with him. It looks like he did trinket there. It looks like Plum also trinketed there. Plum's running Thorns on this one, so if he wants to sit on him, he's going to be taking extra damage. The Priest does ultimate penitence there, so we got trinket, ultimate penitence, and there's pain sup. So a lot of major cooldowns here at the beginning of this first match. And it looks like Plum goes for the stun there, and I could have blinded, but Plum was hitting him, so I didn't really see a point. And he's also top, so I'm not really worried about that. He's going to hunt me. I blinded the hunt, which was kind of weird. I was actually going for a blind on the priest and just kind of goofed it. So we're falling a little bit behind on mana. We probably won't win the mana war versus the Disc Priest, but one thing about that is I can go for drinks almost whenever I want to in this matchup. Like, they have to chase me to stop me, and you can see they just get punished for that. There's darkness, and I'm going to be looking to Hodge the Demon Hunter whenever I see a Dispel on him. So if the Disc Priest dispels all the dots, I really don't like that Hand of Divinity right there. I definitely should have held it. I think I was not going to go for a drink, and then I changed my mind. So kind of a wasted Hand of Divinity right here. He's running the Undispellable Banish, so I can't get Plum out of that. And I'm going to cast Tears Deliverance, but we're just not taking any damage. I really needed to just go ahead and use it on him right there before it fell off. Yeah, definitely a wasted Hand of Divinity, but that's okay. Like I said, a little bit rusty from the MOP remix. We get the Trinket, he gets the Double Fear. So unfortunate. I should have expected him to trinket Double Fear there if I came in to kind of follow up on CC, so shouldn't have done that. It looks like it looks like Plum almost DC'd right there, so it looks like he had a big lag spike. I think I remember that. And we have a bunch of pressure still even after the almost DC, and Plum is just pressuring him back behind the pillar. He's going to chase in now. I do get banished, but I think probably he should have just banished him. There's the clone, so I want to go ahead and Hodge the Demon Hunter while he's full cloned. We do get the trinket from the Demon Hunter. I need to dispel Plum, and I go ahead and sack him. And I am running Barrier of Faith in this one too, so this must have been before I changed it. I think I would have liked to have seen what my mana would have been like had I just decided to run Reclamation in this one instead of Barrier of Faith. But right here, the Demon Hunter is going to chase me down. And the priest, I look like he might have been trying to dispel me at one point, but we get the other paints up here. So they're essentially out of cooldowns. They only have Dome left to use, so we're just going to start hitting the priest since he's out in the open. And in 2v2, I've been running only Divine Plea in pretty much all these just for the mana, but I really wish I could have Denounce in some of these. So I'm going to cast Tears Deliverance while they're running away. Plum has Thorns up, and the Disc Priest just can't catch up at this point. There is Dome. I'm going to go ahead and Hodge the Demon Hunter because it looked like he dispelled him. Plum gets the clone on the Disc Priest, and they're just running away. So you can see we are behind on mana, but I'm going to dispel Plum and then run over here and start drinking, and it's going to pull them out in the open, or they're going to let me get the full drink, one or the other. And if they let me get the full drink, they just lose. If they chase me out to stop me from drinking, they also lose. I have Ultimate Sacrifice, so I can save Plum if need be. He does get the double beam, and he's just kind of 1v2ing over there, and it looks like they kind of realized what was going on there, that I had gotten the full drink and it was over. So this next match is going to be against an Unholy Decay and a Fistweaver. You can see him running in on his Shadowlands Glad mount, and the Fistweaver kind of running in here too. This comp is actually, really decent. It's really hard for me to get drinks versus this comp, and it's also impossible to out-mana a Fistweaver if they are playing efficiently. So he misses the double blind there. They do overlap stun on me. Plum kind of peels there with the Cyclone and the stun on the DK, and I'm just going to try and pull the Fistweaver into like awkward positions. I really want to be using my Hodge on the Fistweaver almost on cooldown if he's not DR'd. Plum does get the clone, so you can see he's going to be rotating clones back and forth. There is the Monk Bubble and the Revival, so the Revival is going to take off all the dots, and Plum just kind of instantly gets them back up. There's the Lichborn, which is going to give him a little bit of leech healing, and normally it would get him out of, you know, some kind of incapacitate type thing. I'm going to Hodge the Fistweaver here and try to do a little bit of damage. I was going for the kick there, but Plum got the clone first. It does look like this DK is running Dark Simulacrum, and so what he's going to do is try and steal clones from Plum, and it looks like right here he stole Thorns, yeah. So I don't know, I haven't played my DK in a while. I don't know what PvP talent he's giving up to have Dark Simulacrum. I do get Strangulated, so that is what I want to use my trinket on most of the time, is going to be Strangulate. Right there, I don't know if it was worth, because I'm probably going to have to bubble anyway, because they have like fully connected here, and I don't have Tears Deliverance rolling. So I'm going to bubble and cast Tears Deliverance just to kind of catch up. So kind of a bad trinket, because now I won't have it for the next Strangulate, but should be okay because we do have all the pressure. Also need to be kiting towards the Fistweaver so I can kick him, but I was a little sketched out because I did use my bubble. Right here, he's just leaving his pet on me, so there's no way I can go for a drink. I'm not running Denounce because I have Divine Plea, so I can't cast Denounce, so it's just kind of an awkward spot for me because I also don't want to just waste mana. I do have Holy Prism that I could have cast on him, but I was just kind of holding it. So he incaps me, stuns me. It looks like they're on different pages here, and Plum does clone the DK whenever he was low. I go ahead and kick the Fistweaver, and he revivals, and he strangulates Plum, which was, oh man, this is not good for them. If he would have just strangulated me, they would have had so much more pressure. So I do dispel the Strangulate off of Plum, and we have gotten pretty much every major cooldown. There's IBF, there's another defensive from the Fistweaver, and it looks like here on our next wave of cooldowns, they're just going to be, you know, SOL. He does get the double blind. I'm going to try and Hodge the Fistweaver here in just a second. So I did it too early. I have to wait till the end of the route and then keep Hodging him while he's in the beam. So I do hit him with 147k Hammer of Wrath to end it, but yeah, definitely needed to wait on that Hodge. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed these videos. Finally have full gear now, so get to start queuing some 3v3, some more 2v2, and some solo shuffle. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, all that jazz helps me out a ton, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.